Welcome to today's explainer. Today we're going to take a bit of a mental pause. We live in this hyper-fast world where, let's be honest, if we aren't moving at absolute lightning speed, we just feel like we're failing. But here's the thing. Psychology actually tells us that just a simple 60-second pause can completely reset our nervous system. So right now, we're going to take a 1 minute, a 1-minute reset. We are going to unpack a seriously powerful piece of text that completely reframes how we view our setbacks. Falling today doesn't mean you won't rise tomorrow. Okay, it's such a simple truth, right? Yet we so often forget it. When we hit a wall, our brains have this terrible, terrible habit of tricking us into believing that the wall is literally all there is. But the material we're unpacking today absolutely challenges that exact narrative. It frames our stumbles as just that, temporary states. Which brings us to section 1, the reality of today. Okay, let's dive right into this. The author perfectly highlights a cognitive trap we pretty much all fall into, and that's catastrophizing. We constantly conflate the present with the permanent, don't we? We think that being slow or falling today somehow means we're going to be slow forever. But the text explicitly separates these two things. Being slow today, that has absolutely zero bearing on your ultimate speed. You have to remember, the present moment is just a snapshot. It is not the whole movie. Moving on to section 2, permission to be imperfect. Here, the author gives us a very, very clear directive. Do not be afraid. Why? Because you are officially granted 3 specific permissions. First up, mistakes are allowed. You absolutely don't have to be perfect to be valid. Second, you are allowed to move slowly. Progress at a crawl is still progress, right? And third, you are allowed to start over. It's honestly just incredibly freeing when you let this text strip all that heavy pressure away. Even if you feel alone, never abandon yourself. Wow. Out of all the advice given, this line really struck me as the absolute emotional anchor of the whole text. Because think about it, when things go wrong, our first instinct is so often self-betrayal, isn't it? We heavily criticize ourselves, or we just want to throw in the towel. But the author is arguing here that self-loyalty is absolutely critical. You literally have to be on your own team, especially on the days when it feels like nobody else is. Let's look at section 3, the power of small steps. Now, what's really interesting here is how the text lays out this incredibly grounded 3-part timeline for recovery. It starts right now, with today, and the instruction, just simply take whatever step you can. We're not talking giant leaps here, just what's actually possible for you right now. Then we transition into day by day, which is really all about that quiet, consistent maintenance to just keep nurturing your dream. And finally, all of that compounds into one day. It's such a great reminder that those massive, life-changing transformations, they aren't usually the result of one single heroic effort. No, they're the quiet accumulation of tiny, everyday choices. And that leads us nicely into section 4, your future source of pride. The courage you show today will become one of the greatest sources of pride in your life. Okay, listen closely to this, because the author isn't saying you'll just be proud of the day you finally, cross the finish line or win the big award. They are saying you will be profoundly proud of today, this specific day. The day you felt slow, the day you literally fell down, but still consciously chose not to abandon yourself. Because true courage, it's really just the mundane persistence of taking one small step forward when absolutely everything around you feels overwhelmingly heavy. So, we are going to wrap things up with a direct question for you to chew on. We've seen today that falling is definitely not forever, and that the single greatest act of courage is simply refusing to abandon yourself. So looking at your own life right in this moment, what step, no matter how ridiculously small or agonizingly slow it might feel, what step will you take today to start building your future pride? I want you to take a full 1-minute reset, just to really think about it. Take a deep breath, and then go ahead and take that step. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. We'll catch you next time.